Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here finally back with round 15 of the Williams Road to Glory. Yesterday we head back to Suzuka here, just 6 races to go of season 1. It's been a little while since we last did the Russian Grand Prix. Of course we've had a lot of excitement around the start of my team season 4, but I thought we'd get back in on the Williams Road to Glory today as well, with the new CSL DD base as well. This is going to be the first sort of proper race I've done with this on F1 2021. I've spent the last couple of days tweaking settings and everything like that, hence why there haven't been any videos on the channel, apart from obviously a couple of short clips from recent videos as well there. But championship-wise, as we head to Japan, team currently still in 8th place there. That looks pretty locked in at this stage of the year there. We're 14th. I mean, we want to try and stay ahead of Yuki Tsunoda till the end of the year there. Russell is in P16 as well. But Suzuka is always a tough track for the Williams car as well there. In terms of performance, unfortunately, the tyre wear heat dispersing rims, the major upgrade, unfortunately didn't come in for this weekend there. So we're going to have to try and get that sorted as well in the near future there. We might be able to get that sorted in free practice as well. But yeah, let's dive in then. Round 15 of the year here at Suzuka. Let's get to qualifying. Right, well here we are then. First qualifying laps in this race here at Suzuka. Very, very interesting one, placing the Williams around this track. Of course, yeah, really doesn't play to this car's characteristics. Of course, you absolutely need confidence and bravery around Suzuka on F1 2021. One of the most brutal tracks on the game. But yeah, we'll wait and see as to how this weekend goes. And of course, on a new wheel as well, just makes things that little bit more uneasy. Just that little bit of extra uncertainty in the car. But we'll wait and see. Rumours are we're going to see some rule changes next season, so that major upgrade that didn't go through is going to be the last one of the year before we try and really start saving some R&D points. The team reckon it's going to be multiple departments, but we don't know which ones just yet as well there, so we'll have to wait and see about that. But fingers crossed, yeah, we can get this qualifying lap under our belt. Yuki Tsunoda, of course, home Grand Prix for him, just sat a little bit in the way at the moment. He's not too sluggish on this lap, but I'm sure he's going to get out of the way right when we can actually use some slipstream as well. They're just tipping it through Spoon just a little bit wide through the middle part there. We've got yellow flags out. Someone's clearly had issues, as we will get a little bit of the slipstream from Tsunoda here. Can really feel the bumps through this wheel, and we are closing in on the young Japanese driver, and he's not getting out of the way. Come on, Yuki. Basically been in front of us for the entire lap, mate. We saw you peel out the pit lane. And this is now very frustrating as we head through the final couple of corners. Surely that's got to be an illegal block as we head out towards the final corner, down towards the line. It's a 29.5, which puts us about where you'd expect, but not happy with Tsunoda. Right, heading out then for our second run of the session. Let's see if we can try and find a bit more time here. We're actually slower than George Russell at the moment, but again, this is a bit of an AI track as well there. But definitely a few more tenths on the table when we've got an AlphaTauri slap right in front of us, but as we get over the curbs on the exit turn 1, yeah, that's not quite what you want to do there. You've got to avoid a lot of the curbs around here, and to be honest, I'm amazed none of them are bits more than this. Up to now, we're still pretty much even as we head out of the S's here, up through Dunlop, finding a bit of time on the exit there, but we'll have to wait and see how this lap unfolds. We're about 3 tenths up though as we head down in towards the final sector, but of course we're going to lose time all the way down here. To no Tsunoda slipstream this time round. 3 tenths behind Sebastian Vettel as well. I have no idea what the gap is to our teammate George Russell. So we're really trying to attack the curbing through the final corner, down towards the line. Shortest run to the flag. It is going to be about another quarter of a second. And that puts us 14th there. Right in the realms of the Alfa Romeos of Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. That was pretty good. Maybe a 28's doable. I just went out for our final run. Giovinazzi retired from the session. And this is what happened to him. I'm guessing the game, obviously, when I jump back out onto the track, you can see us fly past. I'm guessing as the game put us out on track, it thought he was in one place, and he completely walloped the wall on the crossover there. But Giovinazzi out of qualifying because he managed to crash into the roof of a tunnel, or a bridge even, I should say. Never had that before. Anyway, getting ready then to start our final lap of qualifying here. We really need to try and get this one all hooked up. And let's see if we can try and get just that little bit closer to the 128 here. Definitely feel like that'll be a really good lap time if we're able to hit it there. Commit through turn 1. That was pretty nice though on the exit. Again, using up a lot of curb, but that time around we got the confidence to attack through there. Or a little bit deep into the S's. Don't let it try and affect the rhythm too badly there. It's just a bit out of shape all the way through. Still pretty much even though on the Delta. As we run just a little bit wide at the top of the hill though. That's going to put us about a 10th down on our previous run. As we really attack the Degners. Oh, dropping it off that curb. I think we're just trying to get a little bit desperate to find time here. In towards the hairpin. Just braking a little bit earlier than we have on previous runs. Roll on the power nicely on the exit. No, we're still losing time. How are we losing time here? Quarter of a second down as we head in towards Spoon. We have to really try and get a good run through here then. Hit it down the extra gear, attack the curb in the midway point, and then really roll on the power on the exit there. Attack the curbs nicely there, and that's going to find us about a 10th of a second. And we'll carry that momentum all the way down in towards 130R in the final chicane here. We could still improve, but it's not going to be by much as everyone else around us has gone quicker here. We need to try and find time through these final couple of corners there. That was an aggressive amount of curb through the penultimate turn out of the final corner.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Well, it was either that or we head straight on into the pit wall there, but that is absolutely heartbreaking. At the end of qualifying, they see just took a bit too much curb and unsettled us through the final couple of corners there. Roll on the power, just get that snap of oversteer. And unfortunately, we're sent into a crash similar, actually, to I think it was Timo Glocks all the way back in 2009. Obviously allowed Kamui Koba actually to make his Formula 1 debut, but that was a big hit and a side-on impact there, and that is us out of qualifying here at Suzuka. Well, there we go then. At the end of qualifying, it is Lewis Hamilton who takes pole position there. The only man into the 126 is Perez, though. A mega job done by him to get himself onto the front row of the grid ahead of Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas there. Ferrari seem in the mix as well in 5th and 7th with Verstappen sandwiching those two. But further down the order, 17th and 18th for ourselves in the end there. And even if we'd had that 28 that I dreamt of, it would have only just been quicker than Giovinazzi as well there. So yeah, clearly this isn't a track that suits the car. But we just got to get on with it. Let's just try and go probably long in the first stint. And then pray we get a well-timed safety car to spring us up the order.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today in the Japanese Grand Prix? We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ricciardo, Bottas, Charles Leclerc and Gasly, Vettel, Norris, Tsunoda and Lance Stroll, Raikkonen, Sainz. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Antonio Giovinazzi and Russell. Mr. Monaco, Fernando Alonso. They've taken a grid penalty. Nikita Mazepin and Esteban Ocon. Mick Schumacher. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Max Verstappen completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. Round 15 of the year here then, and let's wait and see as to what we can muster up around this track. In terms of strategy, the one-stop should be doable. The game doesn't think it's possible, but lap 16, lap 15, we'll go from mediums onto the soft tyres to see us through to the checkered flag here. Going to be a cloudy one, so tyre temps should be able to stay down as well there. But yeah, very, very intrigued to see how we get on. The start I'm a bit worried about. We seem to struggle the most on the new base, low speed. So Fingers crossed we don't take anyone out off the start here, but let's dive in then to the Japanese Grand Prix. Round 15 of the year, 5 red lights, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go. No hold there, as we try and put the power down towards turn 1, and that could have been a whole lot worse as we go in 3 wide in towards the first corner. Ooh, a lot of guesswork there, trying to work out what everyone else was doing, as Alonso still trying to have a look up the inside there, and again, we spent all qualifying using that outside curbing. It looks like we're going to use it early on in the race as well. And immediately, we're going to do our best Mazepin impression. Had no issues, like I said, through there in Quali. And immediately, off the start, we have just tipped it round. So not the start we needed here at SUZUKA. Now we've really got to get our head down and focus. I think we're the only person starting on the medium rubber here. But yeah, Verstappen, he's starting right at the very back here. So he's got to try and get around the Haas cars and things like that as well early on. But yeah, not what we wanted to kickstart this Grand Prix. But the AI will still be bunched up early on. So fingers crossed we can try and close back in. But it looks like Hamilton's still leading ahead of Perez and Ricciardo, as well as Charles Leclerc in P5. But yeah, nightmare for us. Coming towards the end of lap 2, Hamilton almost matches our qualifying time at the start of the race. Goes to show just how much work this team's still got to do in the sport. But as we head through the final couple of corners, we are taking a bit of time out of Mick Schumacher and the key to Mazepin. I think, yeah, to be honest, looking at it,
being enabled this lap, we can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Gap to car in front is 2.5 seconds.
At least the Haas cars are willing to battle each other as they head back down towards turn 1. Very, very close between Mazepin and Mick Schumacher, but it should allow us to get a little bit closer to the pair of them here. Really don't, yeah, just want a completely lonely race. It's a good little testing centre this though, of course, for the force feedback, just where SUZUKA is so bumpy on the F1 games. You know, there's a couple of really big drops in a couple of places. Thank God they got rid of this bump on the final corner that just simply didn't exist in real life, but almost in DRS range.
6.5 seconds.
Schumacher again going for it. Again, Mazepin probably going to cut in front of him. Yes, he does. But again, it'll just let us get a few tenths closer as we're really, yeah, slowly building up more confidence in the car again. Right, closing in now on Schumacher and Mazepin. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a battle on our hands. Like I said, we really have had a few highs in recent races, so I'm not surprised it was inevitably all going to come crashing down at some point. But through the final corners, trying to roll on the power. Let's see what sort of top end speed we've got then over the Haas cars there, as I'm sure Schumacher again is going to try something on the key to Mazepin, but I'm closing in on the pair of them. So we head down towards turn 1. Schumi thinks better of it. So do I, to be honest. Nowhere for us to really go there. But Mazepin, yeah, is holding firm at the moment. Not sure we're going to be able to get them both in one go, but yeah, we're certainly going to be sniffing around for opportunities here, because the Haas car, it might be sort of the only one we can probably battle this weekend a lot, but it's definitely still slower than us at this stage of the game. Right now we should be able to get a good run though on Mick Schumacher as we head in towards 130R here. He's closing in on the key to Mazepin as well. So actually, I think there was a bit of a lift from Mick Schumacher that time round. Up the inside we go though. Try and take him by surprise, and there we go, a successful overtake in this race. We can still make forward progress. So let's see if we can try and get a run on Mazepin, then back down towards turn 1 here. We're going to have to drain the battery though. Try and get close enough to the Haas. I don't want to be stuck behind him for another lap, but I think we might be. So we just can't do anything. Back down towards turn 1 there. Really, really late on the brakes. As what? Eh? A 5-second penalty? What was I meant to do there? Back end just completely went round on. There's nothing we can do, and Schumi just crashes into me. Well, I mean, we've got a safety car there now, here in the Japanese Grand Prix, but yeah, nothing I could do there. Schumacher just took himself out, really.
The safety car is out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. They're retiring from the race. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
I would love to know which steward that was that thought, yep, I deserve a 5-second penalty for that, but this thing without a front wing is an unstable craft, I think it's fair to say there. Feel the front end lifting up As that's never a corner, but apparently now it is, as yeah, Spoon is unnegotiable at any sort of speed as well there. But yeah, everyone looks like he's going to box though. It's going to completely bunch up the pack once more, which is always a good thing as well. But we're going to go into our hards and try and see him through to the end of the Grand Prix there.
George is in the pits. George in the pits.
I reckon that's going to be the game plan for a lot of people. But yeah, I can't help but feel a little bit sorry for Mick Schumacher. There wasn't much anywhere really he could have gone. Apart from, you know, use the rest of the track might have been useful. But yeah, looks like everyone else is a bit torn between hards or softs. Whether they're going to try and stop again, though, it looks like everyone's on hards, actually. Looking at that, Mazepin's gone softs. So yeah, maybe there is some split decisions there. As luckily we're going to be able to serve the 5-second penalty under safety car. So it won't really cost us anything in this race. But not what we needed early on. 2 mistakes through Sector 1. This track is not fun for a new learner. Car in then at the end of this lap, and if we go around again now, should be no one to go into the back of us here. But yeah, still just struggling, trying to get to grips with this thing as we are about to start lap 10 of this Grand Prix. A lot of understeer through the final couple of corners. That's just no confidence. Nothing at all at the final corner there. That was horrible. Trying to work out where the car was, but gotta get race again anyway. And we've immediately been left behind off the restart. Not how I wanted to do that, but again, just gotta get our head down and focus. We've got a lot of cars that might still need to pit again. Mazepin is definitely gonna have to box once more in this race, so maybe there's some places to be had later on. Haven't lost too much to the rear of the field.
Teammate by 4.0 seconds.
George Russell seemingly have a bit of a better day of it than ourselves. But yeah, Ocon though still applying the pressure to Mazepin. And of course he's now on 2 stages of softer tyres than the rest of us. So yeah, he should be romping away, but of course isn't still. So I think if Ocon can get past him still quite soon, it's not going to be long before we're all over the back of Nikita again. But yeah, it's just so weird. You feel absolutely fine for quite a while, and you just get one little upset in the car, and you just don't feel like you can respond to it. It's really trying to open up the run through the Degners. You can see, I think it might have been us that took off the 50-metre board there, but yeah, just struggling to quite place the car. It was around the outside of Ocon, maybe. No, not able to put the power down there on the exit. Right, are we going to see Ocon now get a run on Nikita Mazepin in towards 130R? No, we're not. It's going to get all over the back, though, of the Haas, and we're just waiting in the wings. Up the inside of Esteban Ocon we go, though. Can we try and pull off a move around the outside through the final corner? Again, all over the curbing. But we do slot in front of the Alpine there, so I'm going to P18 then of the Grand Prix.
Now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Trying to go a bit defensive on him back down towards turn 1. And we do hold on. DRS now enabled though, so fingers crossed it won't be long before we're back past Nikita.
Behind by around a second a lap.
Right, getting a good run then on Mazepin, just one lap later here in this race, and fingers crossed now we can do exactly what we did to Ocon just one lap ago as well. Though we might leave Mazepin vulnerable to the Frenchman as well. As up the inside again we go. That one was a bit of a bigger dive, but Mazepin would try that on anyone else given the chance if he's ever close enough to anyone. Let's still do that at the final corner. Lucky to hold on to that one there, as again we'll go for a Mazepin style defence as well. We'll do it. Overtaking like him, we can defend like him as well, surely. But yeah, a bit of P17 of the racers. Again, the back end trying to tip round on us, but Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll, next car's up the road. See if we can close up. I think we basically are now on the back of this huge train that extends up to the points there. I think it's Kimi Räikkönen who's actually up there inside the top 10 at the moment, so no idea whether it was just luck of the safety car and obviously everyone boxing in, or whether Kimi's got something else up his sleeve there. It was actually Russell into the pits again. So Russell was also on soft tyres there, so that's basically screwed him in this GP. As there's more battling going on down towards turn 1. No idea who that was. One of the Alpines on one of the... I'm not sure. Well, it must be Max Verstappen, sorry, in his Red Bull still. So you're not used to them being white still on this game. But yeah, 12 laps to go though. And we're doing okay at the moment, I think. big battle going on as everyone trying to have a look past Kimi Räikkönen in this Grand Prix, darting this way and that back down towards turn 1. Well, I think that's the Alpine of Alonso, who's just made up another place there on one of the Ferraris. I put money on it being Sainz. There's now, yeah, Ocon, I'm sure. Now he's got past Mazepin. Now they've both pit. Probably going to be slowly inching back up towards us. But Aston Martin and Alpine, yeah, really fallen towards the back marker clutches this year. It feels like Alfa Romeo and Williams. It's not too surprising if we're able to battle them at this stage. But need to be trying to have a look for a move on Gio. Maybe down in towards 130R, but we've pulled off all of our moves so far today. If we, of course, can get close enough. Alright, let's talk about that move then on Antonio Giovinazzi as we try and get a run down in towards 130R. Don't want to get too close into here as we head through the corner, still all over the back of the Alfa Romeo. We make it very clear we're going to the inside, and Giovinazzi doesn't really put up much of a fight for it. Oh, a little bit of contact on the exit. So I think we tried to give him a bit of a squeeze. Thought he'd backed out a bit already, but no, Giovinazzi tried to keep the nose in. But we both live to fight another day. I'm at a P15 though, finally back to where we started. 8.5 laps to go of this race, and team are already starting to get a little bit worried about what's going to happen to these tyres here. I'm wondering if anyone else might have to make another stop before the end here, but it is only 20 laps on this rubber, and the game reckoned we could have done about 16 on a set of mediums. We'd have to obviously really stretch them here, but yeah, not sure it's worth pitting again, of course, between now and the end of the Grand Prix. If it comes to it, the last 5 laps, you can really just park the bus on people. I think Kimi Räikkönen, yeah, it's just going backwards through this train of cars in front of him. Now he let one through, and now they're all trying to sneak by, as that is Max Verstappen has gone clean around the outside of the Alfa Romeo there. No, he hasn't. Räikkönen fights back against the Red Bull out of the final corner. You love to see that as they head back down towards turn 1. Verstappen and Räikkönen going at it again back down towards turn 1. Neither of them willing to back out. I think Kimi has ended up coming off second best there, down to P13 for the Flying Finn, who looked at one point like points might just be a possibility for Alfa Romeo here, but now could be under even more pressure from Lance Stroll and myself. I'd love to get P13 here, unlucky for some. Hopefully not for us, but we still want to just keep pushing there as the back end still is getting unsettled quite often. Every time we seem to get within the 1 second mark of the 2 in front of us, we then just seem to get just that little bit of oversteer that costs us sort of 3/4 tenths of a second there, and it puts us all the way back, and we've been doing that lap after lap at the moment. But 5 to go here. Are we now going to see Lance Stroll trying to have a look past Kimi Räikkönen as we head through the final chicane once more? Slowly getting more confidence. There is all safety car.
They are out of the race. We've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. The safety car is being deployed.
What's Leclerc done? Oh, so Leclerc's gone off in a big way there. Unfortunately, we can't see how he's managed it, but I'm guessing he clipped the curb and just span out there and has walloped the wall. And a nasty crash there. We are going to jump onto some soft tyres here and try and fly back through at the end. Yeah, my whole sort of thought process at the moment is there's no chance we're going to be able to score points if we don't pit, so we don't really lose out anything by giving it a try here, going onto some soft tyres for the final 3 laps of the Grand Prix. And even if we just have some fun trying to slice and dice our way back through, it's worth giving it a go. So we are going to probably come back out P16. Yeah, we should be able to stay ahead. No, we might get jumped by George actually as well there, so it might be P17. So it's going to be a lot of work to do in the last few laps of this Grand Prix. But again, like I said, if it makes it a bit interesting, we may as well go for it as well there. 2.3 second stop is far better than about the 16-second one we had earlier on. But yeah, 2 big crashes today though. Luckily one of them I had nothing to do with. 2 laps to go then here from SUZUKA, and it is certainly a shootout here to the flag. P17 on the restart. Let's wait and see if we can try and sneak away any points from this one here today as we round the final couple of corners. Need to have a bit of restart than we did last time, and that's a lot better, he says, as the back end still tries to snap round on us. Mazepin therefore is going to try and get a run back down towards turn 1 there. We try and tuck back into the slipstream as soon as possible here, and round the outside through turn 1. Thank you very much. Never going to finish behind Mazepin in a Grand Prix. Oh, as he again tries to have a look for it through the S's, but yeah, restarts we are definitely not strong at on this game at the moment, but fingers crossed, we should be able to at least get close to George Russell again. Got much fresher, quicker rubber, after all. And that has taken us all of about 4 corners before we're all over the back of our teammate once more in this race. Of course, we can completely afford to deploy the battery on both of these laps. Don't really need to worry about holding any charge for later on in the Grand Prix, because again, we've got just over 1 lap to go here from Suzuka. I'd love to still get at least P14 right back where we were in this Grand Prix, just ahead of Giovinazzi here. At least then it doesn't feel like we've lost anything by doing this strategy. Is up the inside of our teammate we go. That was a big send. But we have got it pulled off there as all. Again, a little bit of a squeeze. I did actually think George Russell was completely behind me that time round.
George is in the pits. George in the pits. This is
Not my finest moment.
lap of the race.
Through the S's though for the final time in this Grand Prix. We have definitely still got so much more grip than these guys. So it's about trying to get the car placed where we need it as we head up the hill here. Are we going to potentially get close enough to Ocon to have a look into the hairpin? I'll have to wait and see. Not with a line like that, we're not. As we try and put the power back down there. Yeah, massive apologies to our teammate George Russell. I had no idea, yeah, that he just tried to keep the nose in. Thought we completed the move just that little bit sooner. And yeah, teammate contact is never what you want in Formula 1, but like I said, not going to cost us anything big picture. But yeah, I'm sure just tensions will have risen ever so slightly with that one. Round in the final couple of corners though, through Spoon for the final time here in Suzuka. Are we going to see a last corner move here? Looks like Hamilton has done enough here. Has basically led this race from start to finish here. Up the inside of Esteban Ocon we go. As Ocon will just back out of that through 130R. Nice kick of oversteer as well. Oh, thought about it on Giovinazzi, but nothing working there. Hamilton is going to come through to win the Japanese Grand Prix here ahead of Perez and Daniel Ricciardo, but we come through 15th to 15th.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
Nothing can challenge the leaders of the Constructors' Championship at this point. But it's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the Japanese Grand Prix. They're in the top 4, finished as they started. Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Bottas means that Mercedes 1 and 4. They have wrapped up yet another Constructors' Championship here on F1 2021. Only with 5 races to go of the year there. Lando Norris went from 8th to 5th there. Sebastian Vettel, a good weekend in the Aston Martin, actually 7th to 6th. He was on pace all day. Fair play to the German there. Gasly ahead of Tsunoda. Tsunoda actually had a pretty decent home Grand Prix. And then the 2 Spaniards rounded out your top 10 there. Verstappen from last on the grid, just missed out on points ahead of Kimi, Stroll, Gio, and myself there. With Ocon, Mazepin and Russell rounding out your finishes there. Charles Leclerc and Mick Schumacher both not making it to the flag. But Hamilton now 46 points out front in the Drivers' Championship with just 5 races to go. It's only the Mercedes or the Red Bulls that can wrap up the Drivers' title, and yeah, really at this point, no, 5 races to go. Sorry, it's only Mercedes. They've done the double. They just don't know which driver yet has been able to win the Drivers' Championship as well. There, Ricciardo jumps Charles Leclerc to make it 2 Mercedes, 2 Red Bulls, 2 McLarens, then 2 Ferraris in your top 8 there. I don't think Tsunoda is going to be able to close up the gap to his teammate Gasly by the end of the year there. Vettel actually jumps Alonso, though, in the battle of the old generation as well there. And constructors-wise, AlphaTauri actually jump Alpine with that good weekend as well. I'm sure if they can maintain that momentum to the end of the year, maybe, just maybe, Aston Martin should be checking their rearview mirror as well there. But yeah, Mercedes 236 points clear with a maximum of 220 available between now and the end of the campaign. It's all done and dusted. Mercedes again will be champions. Can Bottas, though, close up the gap to Hamilton in the final few rounds of the year? Only time will tell. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well. Again, a rough start on the new wheel, but we are slowly learning it. We're tweaking settings, still trying to work out what works for me as well there. But thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back very, very soon with round 16 of the year. We head to USA even, sorry. You guys do not want to miss it. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel supporters. So a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aidan, Estasios, Kato, Sean, Yoni, McBlam, Mighty Spork, Tazief, and William for becoming channel members. If you want to join them and be featured in all of these videos, you can click the join button down below.